Hello. Welcome to my third lesson. Today's lesson is about Java if statements. So, for the last lesson, we've discussed about the operators. For the lesson today, we're going to discuss about if or else. So, what's the meaning of if or else? So, Java usually supports the usual logical conditions from mathematics. So, as we have discussed from the last lesson that we had the less than, it will return true or false, and for the other examples, like greater than or equal to or not equal to. So, these are only used for mathematical conditions, but we could also process if and else statements on other kinds of situation. Okay, so let me show you to the codes for to explain much further. So let me try to make a simple program just to show you the example of if and else statement. So let's try a is equal to 10 and int b is equal to 15. So let us create a statement. If a is greater than 15, then we want to print as true. Sorry, as true. Else out false. So what do you think this code will do? So this code will check that if A is greater than B. So of course, this won't go through here since this is not true. So if it's not called, it will go automatically to go to the else statement. So let me run the program. I'm very sorry. A is less than B. That's correct. Okay, so let me try to opposite this. Okay, so since this is false, it will automatically go here. Yeah, as we can see, A is of course A is not greater than B, which since 10 is not greater than 15, it would return false. It was to print the false. So we could see that it's either yes or no. But okay, but we also have another situation. Let's say if let's say this is 10. So let me try to run this. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me try to create a scenario. Okay, so let me add else if. So what does this else if does? So we're like putting another condition to check if for example this code was running, and if for example we had a scenario that this code is not working and this code is not running, so it did not print anything. So we could also put another condition here just to check if the number is, for example, let's make it this one, and actually this is better. So okay, so as you can see, A is not greater than B and A is not also less than B, right? So where should it go? Since these two answers are all wrong, if we only had if and else, it will automatically go to the else statement. But for this one, we have another option. If those two are not equal, that means they are equal, right? So as you can see, since A is not greater than B, since both are 10, and A is not also sorry, A is not less than B and A is not greater than B, since they are equal, they won't go into these two statements. So this is why sometimes we should also create another else if, just to, if we know that if we can compare two numbers but you know that those two won't be in this statement, so we know that they aren't true and false to each other, so we need another statement that would prove that all three kinds of statement conditions would be printed, which is we added an if, and we added another if, and we added another else. We added an else. So please keep in mind that else can only be used once. You cannot do like another else. For example, I just do another else. Yeah, it says that Yeah, else without if. So it only accepts one. So for if we can use another else if, but for else we could only use one. So uh, actually there are a lot of examples regarding else if. It's just like true and false, but we could just add another condition. So it's really useful when you're like kind of starting programming. It's a very must to be known, and I recommend that you study more about if and else statements. And let me show you another example of similar with the if and else statement, which is called a switch statement. So, okay, let me just copy the code here. Okay, so here I have a simple program which will scan. So it would ask for the choice, and whatever number I choose, it will print the number. So, for example, if I choose 1, it will print 1. If I choose 2, it will print 3. If I choose 3, it will print 3. And if I choose default or any other numbers, it just say nothing is chosen. So what's the difference of switch statement to the if else? So for the if else, there are things that if else statement can do, and there are things that the switch statement can do. Every one of them has their own advantage. So for the if and else, it's much more simpler. You can just display that if is it true or false, uh, or we can just like you just want to compare like less than like three choices, like we just want to know if or else, if or else. But for the switch statement, there's no limit, so we could add a lot of case, like for example case 1, case 2, case 3. So we could like add until case 10. So I recommend using switch if you think that your choice is gonna be really large. So it really depends on your program, but I'm gonna show you an example. So let me just run this program. So it says, please enter your choice 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3. So if I input 2, it will print 2 and the program is closed. So if I run again, if I choose 1, it will run 1. And if I choose 3, it will print 3. And if I choose, so default works similarly as else statement. So actually, switch and if else are very similar, but uh, as I've said a while ago, if you think you have if you have so many choices, I recommend using switch statement, since it's visually when somebody reads your code, they can understand much easier. And if else is much more usually used if if you just want to know if it's true or false. If it's true, you run this code. If it's false, we run the other code. So if and else are much more used on, so it's visually much better to read. So, since writing code, of course it's important that um, as long as it works, it's good. But of course, when we're working with other people, of course, making the code readable is also very important. So this is it's really very situational. But I have given a simple example. So let me just type 4. So it says nothing is chosen. This works as else statement. So I hope you understand about the conditional, like for the if else and the switch statement. See you in the next lesson.